Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we're going to be talking about what happened in Colin Trevorrow's version of Star Wars Episode 9. That's today, here on Star Wars Coffee.
I have spoken.
Hello there to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding me for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on this video and any other video from the channel that you check out, and be sure to hit that notification bell so that the bell is completely filled in, as this is the way you will never miss a new video the second it goes live.
Do it!
So The Rise of Skywalker has officially crossed the $1 billion mark globally. It has been the #1 film for about, 4 weeks in a row now at this point, and it is still going and going. So we're still getting new TV spots for it, so Disney's still pushing that marketing campaign for it, and we finally have some information about what could have been with the Colin Trevorrow version of this film, and based on what I read, I am so glad that JJ got the hold of this thing back, because I do not like what Colin would have done. So let's dig into that. Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9 script leaked. It leaked in a couple of places, and then it was verified by a couple of very credible sources, including Collider. And so let's take a look and see what goes on in Colin Trevorrow's version of Star Wars Episode 9. This is from Chris Evangelista. He kind of does a better summary than the Collider article, which is a lot more conjecture. But here is actually what we have. So the title of this article is called Colin Trevorrow Star Wars Script Leaks Reveals a Very Different Movie Called Star Wars Duel of the Fates. So that would have been the movie titled Duel of the Fates, which, Rise of Skywalker, the name's irrelevant. The plot is the main thing that we're going to focus on here today. So it says, here's something that I don't think any of us expected. The now unused Star Wars script from Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly has leaked. Details from the script, which has the title Duel of the Fates, have leaked. What happens in the Colin Trevorrow Star Wars script? The script itself isn't available for everyone, but it is out there and details have leaked. So just what went down in Trevorrow's Duel of the Fates? It's worth noting that the script is dated December 16th, 2016, almost a full 2 weeks before Carrie Fisher died. As a result, the late actress's General Leia has a bigger part to play than what we ultimately got, something that can't be blamed on J.J. Abrams and The Rise of Skywalker co-writer Chris Terrio. And this is true, we can't put the blame on that because Carrie passed away, and you gotta remember, they announced these directors, I think, before The Force Awakens came out, if my memory serves me correct. JJ for 8, JJ for 7, Ryan for 8, and Colin for 9. And then they scrambled and brought JJ back for 9, and I think you'll agree with me that that makes sense once we continue to get into it. So in Duel of the Fates, the First Order has found a way to sever communications between planets, because they really don't want Luke Skywalker's ghost fight with Kylo Ren to inspire more rebellion. Here's what the opening crawl would have been. The iron grip of the First Order has spread to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Only a few scattered planets remain unoccupied. Traitorous acts are punishable by death. Determined to suffocate a growing unrest, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren has silenced all communication between neighboring systems. Led by General Leia Organa, the Resistance has planned a secret mission to prevent their annihilation and forge a path to freedom. From here, Duel of the Fates kicks off on a journey that strives to end the story started in The Force Awakens and continued in The Last Jedi. And no, Palpatine and his skeleton fingers aren't still alive and behind everything. That said, Kylo Ren does find an old holocron of the Emperor. In Vader's temple, Kylo Ren finds a Sith holocron which reveals a hologram of Palpatine. The recording is for Darth Vader. Palpatine has a contingency plan for Darth Vader if Luke is to kill him. Vader is to take Luke to a new system, to see Tor Valum, Master of Sith, Palpatine's teacher. Kylo Ren remains the big bad of the piece, although Rey still strives to turn him back to the light. Kylo finds himself haunted by Luke's ghost, who keeps trying to convince his former apprentice to resist the dark side once and for all, a notion Kylo scoffs at. At some point, Kylo's face gets damaged again, and Mandalorian armor is smelted and is applied to his face. Luke's ghost also keeps appearing to Rey, who continues to train to be a Jedi, while also being overwhelmed with self-doubt. It seems that Kylo Ren telling her that she's descended from nothing has really messed up her mind and sapped her confidence. But Rey's standalone nature is also part of her strength. During a conversation with Leia, the General says, "You're not like my father or my brother. You're new. Whatever happens, remember the Force chooses you, Rey. Your story isn't written by anyone else." Beyond all of this, the story has what you might expect. Planet jumping, side missions, the works. Rose, Finn, R2, 3PO go off on a mission. Rey, Poe, Chewbacca go off on another mission. Leia turns to Lando and asks if he will organize the smugglers and fight the First Order. Finn starts a citizens' uprising on Coruscant around the First Order's palace, and at some point Rey fights and defeats the Knights of Ren. Before the story ends, there's one final twist. It turns out Kylo Ren killed Rey's parents, having been ordered to do so by Supreme Leader Snoke. A big fight ensues between Rey and Kylo Ren, in which the Force ghosts of Luke, Obi-Wan, and Yoda all show up to try and turn Kylo from the dark side back to the light. Sadly, it doesn't work, and Kylo, Ben Solo, dies. Or as the script puts it, he's extinguished. That's the word they used. The Resistance triumphs. The First Order is finally defeated. So before I talk about my initial thoughts on this, I'm going to throw out a spoiler warning, just in case anybody hasn't heard anything about the Rise of Skywalker yet, hasn't seen the film yet, So if you haven't seen the film yet, go do that immediately, so that way I can quit saying the spoiler warning, because I know there's some people out there who haven't seen it yet. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and give some initial reactions to this script leak. So I don't know about you guys, but my initial reaction after seeing this is I am so glad that the JJ version is what we got. I think that the Rey being a Palpatine thing kind of helps out with explaining why her character is so good at everything right off the bat. Like in The Force Awakens, when she was able to beat Kylo Ren without ever having held a lightsaber before, makes a lot more sense now knowing that she's the descendant of the most powerful Sith ever, and arguably the most powerful Force user ever. What this does kind of contradict in one sense is this one small detail where Snoke is telling Kylo that he can't believe he gotten beat by a scavenger from Jakku who never held a lightsaber before. But another thing that this does very well in this reveal is in The Force Awakens when everybody's asking who's the girl, supposedly everybody already knew. So that reveal, again, makes this a lot better. The fact that everybody knew, it now connects that. So JJ did a really good job actually of kind of tying up all of these little beats he hit in The Force Awakens, all of these little MacGuffins, or as he calls them, mystery boxes. He handled that very well in what could have been completely unanswered, because Rian really just left all of that alone and decided to do his own thing completely. And another little side tangent, I can't believe that The Last Jedi hasn't aged better than it has. And that's from my own personal experience. I really tried to like this movie. I tried to like The Last Jedi a lot. When I watch it, when I do the rewatches of all of the trilogy, I skip the Canto Bight stuff because it really has no point in the plot once Holdo decides to go zip through the Star Destroyer. There's no point in that, because then you wouldn't have had to have any movie after Episode 4. Luke could have just whipped right through the Death Star and then the movie would have been done. Everybody would have been dead. So the fact that Holdo just decides to whip that out of nowhere, telling me nobody had ever thought to do that before, no. So other than that, I wish JJ would have done all three of these movies, because then we could have had a lot more unified of a story. Because what JJ did, what he did show that he could do, is connect his movies together. So he did a very good job, like I said, of connecting all of his hits from The Force Awakens, putting them all in The Rise of Skywalker. He did a great job of giving Han Solo that new exit scene, messing with Kylo's head, giving him the turn that he needed to hear coming from his father. So in the sense, that haunting that he had, which we knew was happening because he kept asking Vader's helmet to show him the darkness again, and then he brought it out in The Rise of Skywalker, so that reignites that little bit of a plot point. And so by bringing Han back in, you now solve that haunting, because then Kylo's good, so it makes sense. He's returned to Ben Solo, all because of what Han and him had done together had haunted him so well that he couldn't just put it off anymore, and that this is what finally got him to turn. So that went very well, and that was an excellent thing that happened. And then finally seeing Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren being used Not as much as I would have liked. Had JJ done the second movie, I'm sure we would have gotten a better explanation for that. And they wouldn't have been as kind of Boba Fett looking characters, in the sense that they were just there for decoration, mainly having served a very small plot point. They should get their own Disney Plus series and get that history in, because they're diving into that with the Rise of the Kylo Ren comics. But anyway, that's my overall impressions of Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9 script. So glad we didn't get that movie. But if you disagree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know why you disagree with me. Or if you do agree with me, let me know that too. Thank you guys for watching. May God bless you and the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.